Hello and welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Mike Wilson. Today we'll discuss a broad range of topics from the 2019 Indiana legislative session. And joining me right now, Representative Phil GiaQuinta from Fort Wayne. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much.
So you've got a leadership position, you have a budget year in the legislature. From your view of things, how are things going in the legislature, and what are we seeing in the budget? Being a Democrat right now, still kind of tough in Indiana. But what are you seeing from your point of view as far as momentum goes, as far as having those good discussions and the checks and balances that we hold so dear?
It's been an interesting time for me, obviously, assuming the new position as leader of the House Democrats. And what we really try to focus on within the budget, for example, is focusing on bringing more dollars for public education. We've seen over the course of the last several budgets more and more money going to vouchers and charter schools. And when you sort of lay out the percentages, it looks like around about 1.5% to about 1.6% each of the biennium, the years over the biennium, and that just really isn't keeping up with inflation. That's for public education versus the number of percentage of dollars going to charter schools and voucher schools, which is really around 10% per pupil. Mm-hmm. And so we really want to make sure that we're adequately funding public education. Obviously, we've talked about increasing teacher pay. We proposed an amendment that would increase teacher pay by 5% over the next 2 years. We would like to see pre-K funded statewide. Right now, I think around 20 counties had a bill that would go statewide, but there wasn't the funding there to do that. So those are the type of things that House Democrats have put forth, and you know, we think we're putting up pretty good arguments. We're going to keep beating the drum and hopefully get some of those things done. Yeah,
absolutely, and so plenty of education challenges to be sure. Especially, I mean, if you even look at Allen County, right, in your district. So you have Fort Wayne Community Schools, and then you have Allen County Schools. So you have growth and capital needs on the outskirts as these classes need expansion and the physical buildings need to be expanded. And then you have within Fort Wayne Community Schools, then you have this group where you actually need more teacher pay. We need to draw more teachers. So different issues even within just your district.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, Fort Wayne Community Schools, what we have, I think, 80 different languages are spoken there. I mean, all very diverse group. And then you have the growing Southwest and Northwest Allen schools as well. So there's definitely a balance. And I think the key really is just to make sure that we are getting enough money into the system, into the formulas, and from there then the school boards and the superintendents can figure out then for teacher pay and things like that. So, but the key is to adequately fund public education.
Absolutely. What else is happening?
Well, you know, we obviously will have working on hate crimes legislation that's currently in the House. That's something that House Democrats have been pushing for a number of years, so we'll see where that ends up to. And then locally, you know, I've had a bill, some language actually that's in a bill that's heading to the Senate that will create a 35-year TIF legislation for the electric work project. Basically, we want to capture all the property tax that's generated in the area and put it into the electric works project to keep the momentum there to help develop that great project that for the south side of Fort Wayne.
Excellent. Yeah, it is, and we'll see how that certainly shapes up over time too. So that'll be interesting. Those incubators are phenomenal.
It's certainly going to be a challenge. It's 1.2 million square feet between the two buildings, and it's interesting that you would have an old building like this right in the middle of the neighborhood. And but it certainly where it's located, Broadway connecting to downtown into the baseball stadium area, it'll be really great once it's done and completed. And we're just keeping our fingers crossed that the financing is in place to do just that.
Right, and it becomes sort of this technology center essentially from Fort Wayne. From what would be considered blight before is now this absolutely brand new and inspiring project.
There's all kinds of great ideas with regards to how IU and potentially Purdue and others may be able to participate. So we're really looking forward to get that done.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll watch and see as they teach an old building new tricks. That'll be fun. All right, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us from the Indiana State House. I'm Mike Wilson. This is Comcast Newsmakers.